guys, it's Tammy with Cheers to Creativity. I'm going to be doing a Patriotic porch leaner, and I'm going to be using 3 different stencils from Essential Stencil. The first one is going to be using the God Bless America, and for that I am actually just going to be using the God Bless because the board I have is a little shorter than 5 feet, and so I couldn't use the letters that go with it. But this is just a great way to show you that you can mix and match stencils all day long. So I'm going to use that from that one, and then I'm going to use the 3.5 inch letters from Essential Stencil. This is great because you can make any words you want. They're a great size for doing signs both horizontally and vertically. So that's what I did my America with. And then I just got recently this 6-pack of Essential Stencils that is their Americana or American 6-pack, and I'm going to use one of those stencils in the very bottom. So I'll say God Bless America, and then I'll have a little saying down below. So let's go ahead and turn you down. So I've already put my America down on here just so I have my spacing, and I know it doesn't end in a B if you can see that. I just use that again for my spacer. I'm going to start by doing my God Bless up here. I'm just going to eyeball where I want this to go, make sure it fits. It just barely fits on here. That's okay. Down far enough. Yeah. And I'm going to do that with black paint. As I mentioned, I use Americana paints, the craft paints all the time, but they also have their premium that are just a little thicker. And for some things, it works just a little differently or a little better. Like when I was messing with palette knives yesterday, I used the thicker paint for this. You can also add a medium to your regular paint, but I did this with the DecoArt premium paints. So we'll show you that a little later, okay? So I've got my God Bless on here. I'm gonna take a Essential Stencil brush, and I'm gonna load my black paint. I'm gonna offload on my plate, and I'm also gonna make sure I offload on a paper towel. I'd much rather have to give it a couple coats than have it bleed underneath. I'm gonna hang on to this, and I see I've got to move it just a touch there, okay? And I'm gonna kind of use a swirling motion. I'm working on a piece of reclaimed barnwood, so it's not super smooth. A lot of times when I do them on barnwood, I like to distress them even more by sanding through my letters. Most likely won't do that on this one because I've got something fun planned for my America. Getting a little more paint and going up to do the, I'm not on a very sturdy table today, I gotta tell you. As soon as I get this part done, I'll move it up so you can see a little more. I had done a porch leaner last week with some sunflowers, and that's actually what's on the back of this one. I like to do my porch leaners 2-sided. I joke that it saves you storage. And right now with the cost of wood, it just makes a lot more sense to use as much of it on both sides of it. Hey, I apologize, I don't have my iPad down here today, so if you comment, I'll come back and check. I always take a quick peek before I pull it off to make sure I didn't miss anything. But there we have God Bless. I'll move it so you can see it a little more. I'm going to be using my black again when I do the bottom. So I'm just going to take a damp paper towel and wrap my brush in it so it doesn't dry out. And I'm not putting it in the water because then that would get too wet. All right, so let me make sure you can see the God Bless real quick. There's God Bless, okay? I'm going to set this up just a little higher. So I don't know if you can see, but on my America, I have this tape. The tape on the side is to hold it down. And then the blue line, the first blue line you see, is I'm gonna make the top part of my letters blue, and then I'm gonna have white and red. So that's gonna be how they're going to look. And how I did that was I just took the painter's tape, and I took a piece of it and put it on the bottom of my letter as my spacer. And I just take a piece of the same tape and go right across. So this way I can paint the top and the bottom of the letters, and then I can come back and fill in the middle color. So let me get this going for you. Everybody having a good Wednesday? My Tuesday kind of got away from me. We ended up celebrating a friend's birthday, but that was fun too. Hey, when you come on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. I'd love to know. What are your plans for the 4th of July? So I'm taking some what blue? It is primary blue. And again, I'm loading my brush and I'm taking a good part of it off. Got a little bit of a hot mess going on here. And I'm just going to start by doing the top parts of my letters. Ooh, that needs a little more paint. I've done this on several signs for Patriotic signs, and I really like having the red, white, and blue on the letters, especially on a piece of wood that I'm leaving plain like this. You know, the picture on the, actual essential stencil sign, they show another version of just painting your board red and blue and then doing all the lettering in white. That would be really cute too. A-M-E. Tiny little part of that E on that side is going to be blue. I love Patriotic porch leaners because they're not just for the 4th of July. They can be up for other holidays as well, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Flag Day. But they're also just really great to have up year-round because it's a great country and we are very fortunate to be here. And I'm very grateful for the men and women who have served our country to make sure that we, all of us, are able to live free. So to any military who are watching and our lovely first responders as well, thank you so much for your time and your service. All right, so I'm down to C. I got to remember not to paint the B because that would be very odd. Okay. So I'm going to slip out of my B. I'm going to pick up my A from up here. Oops, sure I am. Untape it off the side. This gives me a chance to make sure I'm not bleeding. If I check the back of my stencil, you can see there's a little bit of blue. I don't want to have that go on my piece. I just wiped it off with a paper towel. I'm going to set this down. It also tells me that I was a little heavy-handed. So let's be a little less heavy-handed, especially around my edges. So there's my A. We'll just go ahead and leave that one there for a second while I do the second color. I'm trying to peek at some comments. Just finished my first porch leaner. Oh, that's awesome. Getting ideas for more. Oh, porch leaners are so fun. I'll show you one in just a second here. So this is the one we did last week with the sunflower and the pumpkins. And then on the flip side of it was the bicycle. So all sorts of things you can do on porch leaners. All right, so we've got our blue. I'm going to come back down and do the bottom color. So I'm trying to think flag should be red and then should be white down here. Is that right? Red? Yeah, that should be right. I don't know that it matters, but we're going to make this one white. And just in case I need to go back and use that brush again, I'm just wrapping it in a damp paper towel. Check. I love that one. Oh, thanks. I have got to remember to grab my iPad when I do this. Okay, so I've got my next color. I'm going to do the white down here, and I'm going to leave the red for the middle. So I'm picking up some white, taking it off. I'm going to do this one first. When you're using something like painter's tape, it's just really important that you press down to give you a nice clean edge. And sometimes there are certain colors that you end up going back and doing a second coat on. That's why I'm not removing any of the tape yet, because I might want to come back and add a second coat. The blues are looking pretty good, but sometimes, you know, better safe than sorry, right? So here's my white on my C. And again, this is barnwood, so it's going to be rougher than using just your standard lumber. I can see that white is not showing up a whole lot down there, so I'm going to go ahead. It's pretty dry. Taking my excess off. This way I can move that letter up here in a couple minutes to do the A to Start America. Oops. Careful that you don't pick up any of your blue paint. Just catching where I see it could be a little more opaque. Okay, so I'm going to see that's just, should be okay, pick this up. Okay, it looks kind of silly right now, but we'll get it done. I'm going to realign the first A up here. And go ahead and do the white part down here. Okay, before I pick up that tape, I'm just going to take a quick peek and look at any of my blues that I might want to just make sure have, like this one was a little lax up here. I can always fill that back in with a brush if it needed a little more too when I'm finished. All right, so they look a little silly, right? But it's okay. What I'm going to do is, I try to leave myself a little piece that I can pick up, but apparently I didn't do a good job with that one here. Because what I want to do is come back in and fill in that color. A couple ways I can do that. I can just take a brush and fill it in, or if I really want extra perfect lines, I can come back and tape that again, at least on one side. And I'll show you another little trick in just a second if you don't want to tape both sides of it. Sorry, I know I'm right in your way, but I'm just taping, nothing important. I'm moving my tape from to cover, now I'm covering up the white. Oops. Love Essential Stencils. They hold up exceptionally well. They clean up easily, especially if you clean them up right after you're done using them. And one more here. Covering that up like that. Sealing it down. Okay, so that's going to be my red. And since I didn't tape the other edge, I'm merely going to lay a piece of paper down when I go to stencil, and that way I'm protecting the blue from the red too. Oops, left my white brush out. Let's get that tucked. And I think for today, should we use this one or should we use primary? So this is primary red. A little richer. This is true red. A little brighter. Which one do you guys think? Primary or true? Any advice? I think I'm gonna go primary. Okay. So again, whoops, maybe. Try that again. Well, that seems to be an issue. Ooh, that's our issue. So I need to clean that paint top off, definitely, because the paint is fine. We'll set that aside for now. And I'm gonna come back in with a different brush. My red, taking it off. And again, I've got the tape on the bottom to protect the white. I'm just gonna hold this piece of paper next to my blue and I'll stencil the red in. Do the same down here. So I'm getting ready today to do all my July planning. So it's all planned out. I try to do this every month, but you know, sometimes time just gets a little bit away from us. Adding a little more, taking a little off. Covering up my blue. Filling it in. Now normally if I was using a little larger letter, when I come back with the stars in the blue field, I would use a stencil. I'm not sure I have a stenciled star that is small enough, so I might just freehand those in, or they could just be dots too. I'd love to tell you I'm brave enough to do this without the letter, but I think it's safer to move our letter down. Line it back up. Use our little block. Fill that in. Okay. All look pretty good. Doing a little double checking. A little quality control here, people. Okay. Set that aside. And I'm going to take the letters off. Another little tip for you, if you have a hard time getting your stencils off, just use a piece of tape to help lift them. Setting my stencils aside so they can get washed as soon as I am done. And last one. Give it just a second here. I'm going to come back down here. This was from the pack I just got, America 6-pack, 6x6 stencils. This one has in it America, Land That I Love, God Shed His Grace on Thee, Happy 4th of July, America, Home of the Brave, Stars, United We Stand, and the one that I'm going to use, which is Faith, Family, Freedom. And I'm going to go back and get my black brush. Where did I put my black brush? Here's my black brush. So it's still moist, but it isn't wet. So I can go ahead and load it with the black. Offload, take some off my paper towel. And I have weight on here. I'm just going to I thought having this one on the bottom one helped balance it out a little bit, and I kind of liked the saying as well. Sometimes when you have reclaimed wood, it's really gutted, and then you might be better off pouncing more up and down. This one worked quite well. That can go in the water now. What do you think? You like that? And I'm going to now go back with some white, and I could dot. I'm gonna look really quick. I don't think there's stars in here that are small enough. I think we're just going to freehand some stars. So I'm just going to take a liner brush and some white paint and just add some little stars. I'll do one down here so you can see it, and then I'll let you go. Okay, right. So I'm just going to make little stars up, down, and across. They may not be perfect, but that's okay. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could just do some dots. You're really just giving more of an illusion of the stars. Or if you have a stencil of a small star, you could do that too. Oops. And to offset them a little bit. There will not be 50 stars on every letter. I can promise you that. Just trying to keep them very simple. And I want to go back here real quick after I put a couple more stars on this one. And I want to look at the God Bless and see if I want to outline it a little bit. Like I said, it was very close to the edges, so I might want to just keep it simple. Cute. I like it. So here's the God Bless. I think I do want to outline it with some gold. So I'm going to grab a little gold paint. This is my ultimate favorite gold. This is 24 karat gold from Decor. And open that up. I'm just going to take a little bit out and put on my plate. And I'm going to use a little bit of a bigger liner brush for this. Show you in just a sec. Did get a chance to do my Tuesday project yesterday, and so I will be back to do some palette knife painting in a little while. Got to run to the shops first. Just a little bit of gold accent. And I'll do that on the Bless too. So I'm gonna flip you guys up. So it was so nice to have you guys join me. Hello, Pat. Hello, Deborah. Let me know what you think of this porch leaner. And they're always fun to do with you. And hope you guys all have a fabulous 4th. But before the 4th, come back and see me. I will definitely be back a little later on to do some palette knife flowers. And we'll have some things going on tomorrow as well. Have a great, great Wednesday, and we will talk to you really, really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.